Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to be taking a look at 5 or 6 brawlers that have completely fell off and nobody's really talking about right now. We always talk about the best brawlers in the game, so I thought, why not talk about brawlers that people just kind of forgot about, especially with this meta. So of course, if you think about buying anything in the shop, especially the Melody offer, make sure you're using a credit code SPEN, be greatly appreciated. Without further ado, let's jump into it. All right, guys, jumping into the first game, and the very first brawler we're going to be talking about in terms of them falling off in the meta, it is going to be RT. So I know what you're probably thinking straight away. Well, RT, he's a fairly consistent brawler. He's always in and around the A, B tier for the longest time, you know, S tier as well upon his release. But I think right now, even though it's a very sharpshooter meta, I think he has unfortunately fell off. Again, I'm not saying that RT is a trash brawler. He's not unusable. He's not like D tier. I would say like B tier maximum, which again, it's not like the most drastic fall off. But I was just thinking whilst looking at the brawlers for this video, and I was like, RT is a brawler no one talks about, but yet I never see him in ranked anymore. It's very rare that I see him. I know he pairs pretty well with other sharpshooters, but I think the main problem is that there's just far better sharpshooters out there that are just way easier to hit more consistent shots with. So of course, he's just lacking the damage output right now. So I'm not too sure what they can really do with him. I think he's in a balanced state right now. Like, it definitely can work for the good player. But again, it's just other sharpshooters are just way more of a problem. Again, you go through all the meta sharpshooters right now. You've got Piper, you've got Nanny, you've got Angelo, you've got Bell, who recently received a hypercharge. You've got... Oh, let me get close. Nice, I can get the kill there. I'm just going to use my super to get back and heal up. But yeah, as I was saying, literally I've got a big list. Byron and Bonnie recently received buffs. They're definitely better than RT right now. Also, even brawlers like Brock, who I say is pretty overrated a lot of the time, but at least Brock deals a lot more consistent damage. Like, it's so hard to hit consistent shots with RT. Again, he's not trash. I'm not saying he's trash. I'm just saying he's kind of lost his place a bit in the meta right now, which is unfortunate for fellow RT... Well, not fellow, I'm not really an RT main. For RT mains out there. Also, you take a look at the map pool again. This is probably the most open meta there's going to be in a long time. Literally, so many of the maps right now are so open. You've also got time detonation as well. So you'd think right now, this is probably the best time in a while for RT to actually be a good brawler, but I'm just not really seeing it. Oh, of course, I should have tanked for my... legs there, but it's good. 20 seconds left. Let me know what you'd do about RT. Would you buff him? Would you just... I don't know. I guess maybe in the future, if they finally rework his inline gadget, maybe you might have some more utility about him. I mean, for now, he really only serves the purpose in knockout and bounty, even in previous metas, and other brawlers are just way better than him. So of course, what is actually his purpose? Even in a draft format where there's multiple bans and, you know, Piper, Nanny, Angelo are banned, I still don't see anyone picking him. Maybe he's underrated, but I just think he actually fell off. So that's going to be the first brawler. Let's hop into the next. All right, guys, jumping into the next brawler, who I would say has fell off quite a fair bit and no one's really talking about. It is Fang. So I know what you're saying. Like, his hype charge is still pretty good, but I'm just not seeing Fang anywhere whenever, again, I'm watching scrims, I'm playing ranked. I'm just not seeing Fang. So I think I kind of solved the problem. It is that people are still thinking that his hype charge is like completely broken and are using the fresh kick star power. Okay, I could have actually got my super back there, but I hit a wall. But yeah, people are still using fresh kick star power a lot, which is still a decent star power. It's going to be good, especially against non-skilled players. But at the top of the meta, I think Fang has gone back to kind of his previous state. What you want to do with Fang, I know it's fun to just zoom across the map, but I think it's more consistent to just go for solo kills. So I'm talking like Fang probably is only really that great on like knockout and bounty, where you can try and isolate a brawler down a lane and just get that kill with his stun and whatever else. I don't think he's that brain dead brawler anymore. You know, you can just go in time and time again. But I mean, in this scenario, maybe I can prove myself wrong. Because what on earth did I just do there? I love playing Fang on Ring of Fire, by the way. It's quite hilarious. Okay, I didn't get the mass right there. Real close to super anyway. But yeah, maybe like a switch of star power would be good, especially if you're playing knockout or anything like that. But we should be able to get the kill. Ah, of course, Jesse just gets a turret in time. I think the main problem is why Fang has fell off. Like, I think he's still like a B tier, C tier brawler again. He's not completely terrible. It's just because people just think his hype charge is like completely broken. A lot of times it's received quite a few nerfs. It just takes so long to get his hype charge. Like, you've got to play so great to get it. I think the only way you can get it really is just by being brain dead, going in over and over again, just like I've done in today's, well, in this game right here. like made quite a few errors, but you can see here eventually, like, I'm going to cause a problem for them. But I think we might be able to get this. Hopefully we can heal up, get the shield gear popping, get a super from this Pam. There we go. I'm going to use the Pam turret to just bounce from them. And this is what I'm talking. I mean, he still is good. He still is good, especially against the average player, but I'm just not seeing him ranked when the bans are good. I also didn't talk about how all of the snipers on the top of the meta just counter him. You think of like Piper, for example, with the knockback, Angelo with the jump. So snipers right now, that was where he was kind of predominantly in the meta. They counter him. You also got top meta brawlers as well, like Cordelius and Charlie. They just shut him down so easily. So I still think if you're playing with randoms just on ladder, it's going to be okay playing Fang. He's still a good brawler, but in ranked, he has definitely fell off. I don't see him nowhere near as much anymore. Let's hop into the next one. Alright guys, jumping into the next brawler who has definitely fell off in the meta. It is Squeak. So Squeak right now, I'd say he's like a D tier brawler, C tier maximum. Mainly because, I don't know, his place in the meta is not really that great. You know, considering Squeak used to always be a good late pick or even a good just pick in general on certain maps in ranked and Power League previously. I don't think I've actually seen a Squeak this season. I honestly haven't. Like, if people just forgot he exists, I know he's received a lot of nerfs to do with like his damage, his residue gadget, and just overall, I just think, I don't know, the meta just completely counters him. There's just so much aggression, so many hypercharge changes. Even brawlers that typically he would counter, you know, like Jesse, Charlie, for example, they received hypercharge buffs, so they could get like, additional movement speed, additional shields, etc., etc. I don't know. The hypercharge meta is just not for Squeak. I mean, I won't really say unfortunately, because Squeak is actually a really annoying brawler when he's meta, but I don't know. He's just trash. I mean, I wouldn't even say he's trash. Like, he's actually usable sometimes. Like, the good thing is about the meta right now, like, I would even say, except for, like, Frank, most brawlers kind of have a place and have a purpose and can be usable. So that's actually good. Like, even though I'm saying, like, Squeak has fell off, he's not, like, completely trash and unusable. It's just, there's way better brawlers out there that just deal more consistent damage, that can do way more. Of course, his residue gadget as well getting nerfed. I wouldn't really say to Oblivion, but, you know, before it used to at least do like 10 seconds of area denial. Now it's kind of over before you even realize. It doesn't really make much of an impact in the game the way it used to. So again, we're just spamming out residues. I mean, that's a good thing about him. I think the good thing about him still, we can get some like good early control, but once he runs out of gadgets, it's kind of, okay, once he runs out of gadgets, me shooting the wall and wasting one gadget, but once he does run out, it's just kind of easy to overwhelm. So that should be the game there. Let's wait for Colt to waste a few bullets. I'm gonna just walk this one in. Beautiful. So yeah, let me know about Squeak. Has he completely fallen off? Again, the map pool actually isn't too bad for him as well. Like, still good maps for him, but again, I'd rather go a different brawler. Like, you can look at like Minecraft Madness, you can look at Dueling Beetles. There's just better options right now. But yeah, that's gonna be Squeak. He fell off. Let's hop into the next one. Guys, jumping into the next brawler who has definitely fell off within the last couple of metas now. It is Maisy. So again, another brawler I'm not really seeing people talk about too much. Maisy used to be easily an S tier brawler. That was mainly because of a few things. It'd take her 3 shots to get super. Hypercharge itself was just completely broken, so she was able to cycle through like crazy. I don't know, there's just a lot really going on with Maisy and the meta. Should have really just gone into Buzz a lot quicker here. Should be able to at least dynamite someone get the kill, please. Okay, doesn't really matter. But yeah, some key reasons why she's completely fell off then. Oh, wow, okay, that was some incredible luck. Key reasons. Reason number 1, of course, she takes 4 shots to get super now. So that, of course, affected her hypercharge rate as well. She's just not able to make the plays, of course. Literally takes so long to get super sometimes. With Maisy, her main attack, of course, is the big problem. So taking 4 hits when you've not got a single super to work with, it's just completely painful. So it's just one thing to bear in mind. But at least she's still pretty good with the Tremor's star power. She's still going to be good on like Brawl ladder because there's still just so many brain dead, you know, really aggressive players. So Maisy's going to be able to shut down that idea. But still just more consistent picks as well in the top of the meta. Again, a big problem in ranked or competitive in general is simply the map pool doesn't really favor Maisy. Like, if you think a really open map, it's going to be really easy to avoid Maisy. Also, just hypercharge in general got nerfed, and Maisy was a great shutdown brawler for that reason, because so many brawlers could just, you know, spam this purple button and just do this all of the time. You know, Maisy could just do that like 2 or 3 times a game. So now she can't really do that. She can only do that once a game. It makes a big difference. Also, the actual hypercharge rate nerf where you can't extend the hypercharge period actually did a big indirect nerf to Maisy in particular. Again, she can't really get as many like supers, team wipes as she used to before, which I'm kind of glad about. Maisy was really cheesy, but I guess now she's quite skillful in the meta. I'll say she's in and around the C tier. Like, she's not terrible, but it's just more consistent, easier to use picks right now. And Dynamite just ran through all of them. That's kind of crazy. So let me know whether you agree with the reasoning on that one. We've got one more brawler. Let's dive into it. Alright guys, jumping into the final brawler who has completely fell off since the start of the last update. It is Doug. So I had a lot of faith in Doug. You can tell because I put him in my top 10 list. That was probably skewed because a lot of the maps that came out with the update were really grassy maps, and of course Doug is still a pretty good brawler on those maps, but I feel like people have just sussed out Doug so easily even since the damage buff. Essentially, if you don't know what the buff was, it made it so his damage is always fixed instead of, you know, before you have to get really close to the opponents. Now it's always fixed, so that's a great change about Doug. That was a really terrible play by Melody. That was literally an open goal. How did she miss that? But yeah, people just keep away from Doug. I guess, again, low trophies, you're going to be able to close the gap onto people. People are just a little bit dumb in that sense, but, you know, the pro players, the people on ranked, they know all they have to do is keep their distance against Doug, and he will never get close, never get his first super. Once he gets his first super, he can do a lot of damage. Well, he can just cause a lot of pressure. So here, I can pop my super here. I'm going to fully respawn with all of my health. Oh, I was literally one shot away from my super there. And I would have been able to keep chaining and chaining. So again, Brawl, he's going to be good. But I think everywhere else, I've not had a single problem with Doug this season. A single one. Also, my opinion might have been skewed because there was like a glitch with his healing as well for a little while. So I kind of wish I would have got Doug to rank 35 during that bug, because he was actually broken. But now he's kind of gone back to like his former self. I'd say back probably near the D tier. It's just so hard to get damage onto people. He has no range. He has no way to close the gap. It's just the same problems with Doug. So the buff was nice to him for a while. And then he's just, I don't know. People just realized it's Doug. I could just run up to him and just deal a lot of damage. But I don't think I'm going to be able to stop this one. They just passed me the ball. Like, look, I'm just getting bullied. Like, what is this? I can't even move. Everyone's just spamming hypercharges at me. And I can't do a single thing about it. We've still got a little bit of time to try and get it equalized. It's just painful playing Doug. It always is. I had a lot of faith in my wiener boy as well. Like, literally, you saw when the update dropped, I was in love with Doug's wiener. But now, just can't really do anything about it. Right. We've got our super. Overtime isn't really going to be the best. But I guess they haven't really got the best composition for it either. So it's down to Ball to make a play here. I can give him my wiener and he will respawn. He's probably about to get blasted again though. Somehow he's got his hypercharge. Fair play to him. Let's pass the ball up. Colt's getting some good damage here. Might be able to just run it into this BB. We can actually get a kill. We're actually going to win this game. Yes, we are. Love to see it. Doug, underrated. What am I talking about? Anyways, yeah, he's going to be a D-tier brawler easily. But for me, those are the brawlers that I fell off the most in the meta. Some of them aren't like terrible, but I've just definitely noticed like a big shift in their kind of balance and where they sit within ranked in particular. So that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.